Shut up. Welcome back to part 2. We're going to try to get right back on the same topic. I think we left part 1 of version 1 as we were talking about kind of like do the intangible benefits and stuff that companies offer matter, and is that something that kind of long term, and I think that's a topic that we can dive into deeper probably. I think that could be an entire 20 minutes. I think we could really get into what's offering, and then of course what can smaller companies that can't afford to give 20% time or can't afford to put together their own bus system, what can they do to compete with the Google, Microsofts of the world out there from an employment standpoint?
Well,
it's a good topic.
The guy from Mahalo, the one who got roasted for that blog post he did on TechCrunch or whatever it was, yeah. I mean, he was just mentioning all these things that, I guess a candidate would look at as perks, keep a stock fridge, cater lunches, do things like that. And I mean, they're things that probably would entice a candidate. It's not going to be like your main motivating factor, your main reason for taking a job, but they're all things that not only are going to make people want to join a place like that, but they're going to be things that increase productivity. Catering lunches, you keep people in lunch. They're not going out for an hour. They're taking less time and they're getting back to their desk and getting back to work.
I think the operative point through all of this is that I think there are lots of things that smaller companies can do. It's definitely something that we can talk about, in the long run. Is like what can smaller groups do to entice somebody. I mean, I'm somebody who I joined this company because I was like, hey, these guys are pretty cool. Little did I know I was sorely mistaken, but that was really like at the end of the day what made me want to come here. So like, what can smaller companies do to attract people? But
Grant just say we're not cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Is that what I heard?
I'm pretty sure
Turn off the camera.
What else can we talk about? What else did you guys find interesting?
I was going to say that a lot of times when candidates are choosing between a job, they're really literally on the fence about it. It's the little things that kind of like push them one way or another. So when it comes to like offering free lunches or work from home 1 day a week, things like that cost the company minimal amounts of money, could be the decision maker to get a candidate on board, especially when the other company is almost identical but doesn't have those things.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to get into a situation where you have a candidate who's literally on the fence, like he's like, I don't know, he's like, it's literally 50-50, I have 2 great offers, but
you get a gym membership.
this one company is offering me free Cheetos for life, it's like...
Dude, did we just have that with the candidate in the Bay where he wanted gym membership?
She wanted the
gym
membership.
They happen to have a gym in their office.
Yeah.
But even if they didn't have a gym, I think we could have figured out a way to like cover that like $25 a month or $50 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the thing is nowadays it depends so much on like company culture and the people that you're going to be working with, and someone's going to join a job because they like the people that they're working with, they like the thing that they're going to be working on, not because they get free lunch or because whatever it may be. I think it's just because company cultures make such a big difference nowadays.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think that the main thing that I'm hearing over and over again is, when I'm asking candidates what they're looking for, what's their main motivating factor, for sure it's money. I mean,
but no one ever says it.
No one ever says it's money, but the main thing that they always say is they want to work with passionate people. I think hiring managers should pay attention to that and should be a little bit more strategic in terms of the people that they put in front of the candidate when they're interviewing.
How about some like general advice to candidates as far as like the criteria they're looking for to be as less generic as possible? I mean, like, how often do you guys say, what are you looking for? And then you hear I want to work with smart people, I want to work on something innovative, I want to work on something challenging, I want to work on cool technology, I want to impact the lives of millions.
What does that mean?
Okay, so you want to work for any company in the Bay pretty much, right? I mean, it's such a anything will do type of thing,
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that is...
That's our job, though.
A lot of it is our job.
That's our job to dig into that.
Yeah. We need to let them know that when we're qualifying them, we're not interviewing them. It needs to be more of a thing where it's like, all I really want you to do is take 10 minutes of your time, literally like explain your dream job to me, and if I have something, great. If not, that's okay too, but I'll call you when I do. And if you can get that comfortability with your candidate, then he's going to open up a little bit more. And I mean, there's that's where kind of the sales comes in. It's not really like you're selling anything. You're just selling yourself. You're selling. What you're trying to achieve is basically a level of comfortability with your candidate, where he can look at you as a friend and not as just an agent in his career path. Someone who like will tell you like, yeah, I mean, the company looked like shit. I didn't like this, I didn't like that, and just be brutally honest with you. I mean, people stray off the path and don't get what they want when they can't be honest about what they truly want. If someone's having problems telling you exactly what they want, their answers are super generic, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, they're not going to get their dream job. You know, I think candidates don't really know how to use this correctly.
I think you hit actually an interesting point that probably could be a whole other episode in and of itself of Ask BINC, and that is what makes a good recruiter, what makes somebody you can trust. Like we talk about having that intimate knowledge, and for sure we've all gone through, well, at least I've gone through job searches before, but a lot of people here are family. But in my case, I've gone through a couple of job searches, and I've certainly had outstanding recruiters. I've worked with headhunters before. On a personal basis, and I've had good and bad excuses or good and bad experiences, and probably one of the things we can help our candidates understand is identifying a good recruiter, identifying that asset, because there certainly are recruiters that just want to take your resume, slam it out to all of their clients, and see who bites before they even talk to you about what roles there are, and that's not where we come into the picture. I'm not gonna sit here and preach the virtues of BINC in this session, but I think there's a different type of recruiter for wherever you are at in your job cycle, and maybe helping people understand the different types of people in our industry. Because even whenever I started interviewing for professional recruiting, I still didn't know that the differences between a staffing agency and a headhunting agency and an executive recruiter and an in-house recruiter, and really how all those people fit into the puzzle, and helping people kind of, who don't see that on a daily basis, understand what that structure looks like, and how each of us kind of fill a different gap in the necessities of companies is going to help them understand who they should take time to spend 20 minutes and just kind of mind spew about what their ideal next step is, and the kind of then recruiter who they call whenever they go, shit, I just got laid off, I need to be slammed out to 30 different companies, I need mass volume. Certainly we can help somebody like that, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I am best suited to handle that kind of person. My desk is set up to handle somebody who is happily employed, but looking for something that much better, that X, we always say. And that's where I'm going to be most helpful, and I think it's probably where most of you guys have positioned your desks as well. And I think it could be helpful to let candidates see and understand that side of our world.
From Google right now and having to show up on your desk.
Oh no, absolutely. I'd be happy.
Every client.
I'd be happy to help them, but I don't feel like that's where my desk is like best structured to fit though.
I think a lot of the times, when we're hitting the volume that we have to hit to, actually get results and make placements and find people jobs, it tends to become a little bit repetitive, and you tend to lose a little bit of passion. I think if you take the time, like focus on every call, and in the beginning you kind of just separate yourself from the other recruiters out there. Look, this is what most recruiters do, this is what I want to do. But to do that, you have to have a willing listener, and a lot of times software engineers, or whoever, sometimes at their job, they can't do that. But I think if you really just kind of slow down the process and tell them, like, look, I don't want to pitch you on a job right now. I don't have a specific job in mind for you because I've never talked to you before, and I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like me trying to sell you a car when I have no idea who you are.
Amen.
Let me ask you a couple questions. Let me find out about you, and then if I have anything, that matches up well, we can talk about that. But for right now, why don't you just explain your dream job? And sorry.
I was just gonna say, I know me and Boris were talking about this the other day, just about how like everything was going on at BINC and stuff like that, and how everyone here really is just like, no one here is pure like car salesman, just trying to sell you that lemon, just trying to like have you buy anything just to buy it. Everyone here is really just trying to like be someone's friend and trying to help them get the best situation for them, because that's the best thing for us, that's the best thing for the clients that we work for, and that in the end is the best thing for the candidates that we represent, is that the position that they want to be in, their like dream job, their ideal job, whatever it may be, is what makes us do what we want to do best, right? I think that like that's what we do. That's what is unique about BINC, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Just kind of like be fully honest. Throw it out there. Is anyone really trying to be friends with these people, with candidates and clients?
You don't have to be friends.
Really?
I don't
know. I don't know if I'm
sure.
I'm not sure if they're looking.
I don't think you have to
me as
be
a
friends.
friend.
You don't have to be friends with them, but you have to care about what they want. It's not that you have to call them on the weekends and, oh, congratulations, you had a kid. Who cares about that shit? But you have to really care what they want. The car salesman thing doesn't work in recruiting, because you can sell someone a car, and if they hate the car a year from now, it doesn't matter to you in the smallest amount. My candidate has to love his job a year from now, because if my client doesn't receive true value out of him after they paid me $25,000 or $30,000 fee, then I'm going to lose credibility. So it forces us to be on that path where we're really putting our candidates and our clients first, then we're making like good matches that make sense, not, you know, placing someone that's a fit and they're going to be there for 6 months, you get paid off it, but who cares? You know, those are the people. I mean, you know, in recruiting right now, I feel like a lot of people, everyone I talk to, like, oh, I used to be a recruiter for like 2 months. I feel like people are flooding into this market and there's no quality assurance, but those people aren't going to stick around. There's going to be the people who are focused on making sure they're making the good fits for the long term, who are going to stick and who are going to do well and build a name for themselves.
You just throw it out there that you're talking about being friends with candidates. I think if somebody like to have a successful placement with a candidate in a company, like the more friendly you are with them, the more they trust you, and if you're legit in that, then they'll be more honest with you.
No, you're right. I'm not saying like friendly is like a bad thing. I'm just saying like when was the last time you've been invited to like a candidate or client's like wedding or bar mitzvah or like kid's birthday party? Like, when was the last time you invited anyone to yours? It just doesn't happen. I'm just saying like I don't know if like
maybe it's your definition of friends.
Yeah.
Like I want like a strong personal relationship with my clients. Like I want to care about, oh, like cool, your kid got into some like really crazy, your kid got into like some really crazy high school. Great, good for you. Like I want to